Welcome to the Avram Davidson universe, where you will get to listen to some of the best short stories ever written. As a youth, Neil Gaiman fell in love with Avram's stories. Philip K. Dick adored him. Ursula Le Guin thought his tales wonderful, and Ray Bradbury compared him to Kipling. Each episode will include a special guest, an amazing short story, and a discussion of that story. Enjoy classic tales such as O'er All the Seas with Oysters, The Golem, The Sources of the Nile, and many others.
How could you be? It sounds like a story to me, yeah. Sounds like a story to me.
We're live. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
I guess I'll start with any holiday special. Any recollections of holidays with Avram? What you would do over the holidays, or what we would do?
Let me just give one little anecdote because it's kind of funny. When he lived in Bremerton, Washington, he had some friends around there. He pinned a note to his door that said, "Avram Davidson will not be accepting any Christmas presents other than a hug, and please don't tell him that Christmas is for everyone."
So growing up, I mean, what did you do for the holidays?
We did stuff for Hanukkah. You know, Hanukkah is it was a minor Jewish holiday that got turned into a big thing because it had to compete with Christmas. So sure, we did stuff for Hanukkah.
Okay. And did we, I'm trying to remember if we did any, I know we did Hanukkah lighting together. I'm trying to remember if I did any Hanukkah lighting with Avram.
He always sang the Maccabees song, which all that I remember is long ago in days of old, the Maccabees were heroes bold. That's what we sang. We didn't sing that stupid dreidel song.
and then I know, obviously, now he bar mitzvahed you, right?
He helped. Yeah. That's basically accurate. Yeah.
Okay. And he bar mitzvahed me as well.
Oh, he did?
He was there. He was involved with it, with the Chabad.
Okay, I thought it was just the Chabad that trained you.
Oh yeah, no. He was the one who basically ran me through it with him.
Well, that makes sense because I don't think the Chabad would take on a face like yours all the way.
Well, they did it together.
Okay.
Well, one of the things I think sometimes people get a little confused about our relationship.
Yeah.
I'd be curious if you want to explain our relationship.
It's not that complicated. We're half brothers. Avram is my father. He's not your father. Your father was my stepfather, whose name was Steve Davis, but we had Grania Davis. We both had Grania Davis as our mother. So that's really it. It's not that complicated.
But he also was
but Avram was also your godfather.
Do you have any recollection of how that happened?
No, I mean, theoretically, the godparent is supposed to take care of you if the parents die, but I had a godfather that I can't even remember meeting, so yeah.
All right. Well, another thing you and I, total change of subject, something you and I spoke about briefly. Obviously, Avram spent a lot of time, we didn't cover this very much last time. Avram spent a lot of time, he spent time, not a lot of time, he spent time in World War II.
He spent a full term in World War II, yeah.
Okay, but he didn't talk about it much.
Not much. I got little glimpses of it. Some of it was from the letters I found where he wrote home to his mom. He made a point he said that he didn't like to tell war stories, and he didn't like to hang out with other vets that like to tell war stories.
But what did he tell you?
He was a medic.
What did you learn from the letters and from what he did tell you? What did you learn?
Yeah, so he was a medic in he was trained by the Navy, which was intentional because he didn't want to go to Marine boot camp. But they have a system where medics who are trained by the Navy sometimes serve with the Marines.
Right.
So that's what he wound up doing. I know that he went to Okinawa, and he talked about living in the vagina-like caves on Okinawa. But it was fairly traumatic, even though he didn't fight. He saw a lot of people. He had to stitch people back together and stuff. So small wonder he didn't like to talk about it much. I remember another thing I read in his letters was that he heard some what he called rebels, which I assume means soldiers from the South who still had Confederate sympathies. And so he said the rebels went on in their unspeakable way, which probably meant racist talk. So he didn't like that. He didn't like these he didn't like the racists that were in the military with him, the white racists. And this was when he was young, in his 20s.
Right.
1940s. So he was a little ahead of his time that way, I think.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, he touched on a lot of his stories certainly touch on war. I mean, or certainly post-war in China. Several of his stories touch on that.
Oh yeah. So after he did his bit in Okinawa, I think it was already becoming more peaceful. That was before Mao, came in, but it was pre-Mao mainland China, so it was very interesting. And he's got to spend some time there. But he said he went home. He went back to the U.S. because he had a romantic correspondence with a woman, but that turned out to be nothing or less than nothing, as he put it. So he wishes he would have stayed in China longer, like when he got out of the military, I guess, would have just stayed and hung out in China until, of course, we would have wanted to get out before the communists came into wherever he was.
I mean,
there was a Muslim restaurant in, I think it was Beijing. There was a Muslim restaurant where he could eat because he was kosher, and I don't know if halal and how close halal and kosher are, but at least there wouldn't be pork.
Right. Well, I mean, I know in a lot of us, Dagon, Dragon Skin Drum, I think there's another one that I'm not thinking about right now, but I think a couple of them touch on eating at restaurants in China. So that definitely was a big part of obviously his experience there.
Well, we ate at restaurants a lot. He wasn't much of a cook. Just
right.
Like me.
But I'm saying in China, I mean, the fact that stories really touch on that.
He wrote some, I remember at least one story set in China. And then, of course, there was the whole Marco Polo book.
Right. That's true. Good point. All right. Growing up, you had, I'm sure, different authors coming in and out or meeting different authors.
Yeah, there were a lot of them.
Any in particular that either, Avram either influenced Avram or Avram was particularly close with, or stories there that you'd want to tell?
Well, he had a relationship with Philip K. Dick. I mean, he told me that Philip K. Dick was crazy as a battalion of bedbugs and ate every pill. He said if a new pill got on the market on Monday, he'd have a prescription on Tuesday. But he said that he was working on a novel and he was kind of stuck. And Philip K. Dick said, well, when that happened, he used the I Ching. And of course, that novel was probably, what's that one in the alternative?
Man in the High Castle.
Right, it was Man in the High Castle, where it kept having the I Ching references in it. So I guess Avram did that with his book, used the I Ching as well. And it helped him. So
you don't know which book it was by any chance, do you?
I don't.
Okay. That's okay.
And I think Philip K. Dick also influenced Avram to try amphetamines once, so it would help with his writing, because that's what Philip K. Dick always did. Yeah, and so he said he wrote all day, but then when he was done, he just couldn't turn it off,
Right.
So he found that unpleasant, so he never did it again.
Oh my gosh, I wish I knew it. Oh gosh, I wish I knew its story. It'd be interesting to see that writing from that day.
I don't know if it was a story or part of a novel or whatever, but
Wow. Oh, that's interesting.
yeah.
Huh. Who else influenced? I know Peter Beagle and Avram were also very close. My understanding.
Yes, they had a good relationship, a long relationship. When I was a kid, I went to Peter Beagle's house out in the country, and it was so fun because he had so many pets. He had like 8 cats and 9 dogs, and he had horses. And inside he had animal cages like stacked up, including some kind of nocturnal marsupial that he had to let out at night. So that was the only time it could be active. So yeah, they let it out. So I really enjoyed that trip. But of course, that life, I don't exactly know what happened to that life, but I guess it didn't last. He broke up with that wife or whatever.
Oh, got it.
And
yeah.
So, moved to the Bay Area. But he talked about Avram a lot. He said so, he would go up, he would talk to Avram and he would say, "Tell me stuff." Because, Avram knew a lot of stuff and he was just interested in whatever he had to say.
Yeah, I spoke to Peter, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago. And I mean, he told me just some, hilarious stories. Some of them he already had written down in terms of, Avram never getting into German cars and all sorts of stories like that.
That's true. He would not take a ride. He had no car and he depended on other people for rides a lot, and he couldn't drive. If somebody offered him, I heard, a ride in some German car, and he basically chewed him out for even suggesting such a thing. And then also who wrote I have no mouth, but I must sing.
Not sure.
Of my tongue. Anyway, that writer, he said that when he was young, he had a German-made typewriter, and Avram just grabbed it and threw it to the ground. And the guy was like, "Hey, that's that's how I learn a living is that typewriter."
Is that Harlan?
Harlan Ellison, correct.
Which I just finished. I'm getting the Enquiries of Esterhazy put into audio, and that's dedicated to Harlan. So obviously they were very close.
Yeah.
I read that story about Avram throwing the typewriter into the ground. Oh my gosh.
So,
well, going. I think this is timely. Going back, I don't want to dwell on it too much, but going back to Philip K. Dick.
Yeah.
I know in terms of addiction, I think he used to come to our house because our dad was a physician, and didn't he used to occasionally try to get prescriptions? Do I have that right?
I don't remember, but I wouldn't doubt it for a second.
Okay. I believe that's the case. And then, today's story that we're going to be listening to, ironically enough, called Addrict. It touches on that subject. So maybe this would be a perfect time to go ahead and hit pause and listen, and then we can discuss it.
Sure. So Philip K. Dick was mainly addicted to amphetamine. So yeah, go ahead.
All right, let's do this.
Addrict by Avram Davidson and Grania Davis. Here's S. clause on Santa's new modelry. 1 person, 1 photon unit skimmer. Well, it was new, when the 21st century was new. Well, it works, doesn't it? Even though my hands are shaking so much. It's Christmas Eve, year 2040, but I don't care. Don't care about ho-ho humbug and deck the halls balls. Only one thing I care about, same thing I care about every day of the year, and every night too. Price is up, keeps going up. Every day the costry is higher, and my dealer just laughs when I complain. So strike the habit, she says. But I can't strike the habitry. She knows it. I know it. Everyone knows it. my mangly family and their loving lectures. Just try to go without it for one day, my ever-loving used to say. If you can manage for one day, you can strike it. Yeah, sure. How cold is your turkey? But I never got through even one day without getting the jitters and shakes so bad I just had to have it. I must have it. And my mangle-mouth bossery. We've tried to be lenient and understanding as the sympathy law requires, but you just aren't carrying your own psychic weight around here. Better smarten out. Better thisry, better thatry. Hard to carry your own psychic weight when you're shaking and twitching, can't think or concentrate, can't think about anything except getting it, needing it so bad. I used to be an outstanding, empathetic, spousery, model employee until the craving got so bad. It's like that when you're snared. People can honey-talk you and para-empathy you and try to persuade you to quit, but deeply-downry you don't give a cram about any of them. Ever-loving, bossry, mother, best friend, affinitry, they mean nothing compared to it-tree. Gotta have it, now! Sell my share in a moon condo if I had one to sell. Oh, there's plenty of ways to get it. Don't need a job, Bob. Don't need family, friends, para-empathy, share in a moon condo. Zucks, just need some bucks. A big wadry of bucks, mintage, cookie. Price goes up every day, but I don't care. I'll cut the cookie somehow. Sell my bodhod, gongle something, lift something. Getting good at lifting. Only snagged once, invoked the sympathy law. Nothing on the record, getting good at lifting. Well, was. Hard when your hands shake snake. Can still drive the skimmer though, never touch the ground. Tonight? Easy. Christmas Eve. All those packages of costly new merch, so nicely wrapped in colour spang, and sitting around, oh so visibly, around the gaily decorated tree-bee. Just skim around the right poshry neighbourhood, dressed in my Santa suit, and my Santa beard, and my Santa bag, hag. Just slip inside an unlocked door or gongle open a window that's hidden from the street. Just climb over a force fence, gongle open a lockery. Getting better at this all the time. Ho, ho, ho. Tricks of the trade, Raid. Tricks of the trade. Never carry a gunnery. Ho, ho, no. Penalty too stiff now. Instant death. What could be stiffer? Knife will do if someone bothers me, if there's trouble. But I'm not after trouble bubble. After something else. I just need it soon. A poshery house where nobody's home, that's easy. Tonight, everyone has skimmed off to church, or parties, or family dinner spinner. Plenty of houses empty tonight, and they all have those big green trees surrounded by unopened, unused, expensive things, saleable thingwings. I went to church when I was younger, before I got snared. I went to parties and family dinners, empathy. Now I go to church only to lift the collection, sly fly, or get a free meal. Family and friends don't invite me any more, don't like to see me twitching and shaking and visibly craving itchery. Fence said he'd be around all night. Right. This is a big night. Zucks, all those empty houses, all that valuable new merch, colour spang-wrapped merchandise sitting around those trees. Gonna make a good haul tonight. Gonna carry off a bunch of lootry in my Santa bag. Gonna sell it fast to my mangly fence. He'll cheat me as usual, but I don't care. I'll have so much stuffery, jewellery maybe, photon unitary, microcomputers maybe, real wool sweaters, getting rare bear, Portable 3D video, silverware maybe. I'll have everything. Fence will sure peel off a wadry of Buck's Mucho Cookie, and then I'll hustle-bustle right over to my sweet dealer. It's Christmas, is what I'll say. Ho, ho, ho. Gift me with a free sample, dealy-feely. Oh, she'll gripe, she'll snaggle, but she'll give. Hands will stop shaking then. I'll feel so much better. I'll bargain with her over price nice. Tonight is an easy night. She'll be feeling goodry. Empathy. Me in my Santa suit. I'll buy big. Maybe enough to last till New Year. Zucks. But gotta be careful. Can't get caught. Get caught in one of those big rich houses. Can't get caught with my loot tree. They'll take it. Leave me with nothing. Nothing but shaking hands. Can't ever get caught. This neighbourhood looks plush, looks poshery. Plenty of rich mangleheads live here. Lots of good stuff around their trees. Think I'll try this big house mouse. No skimmers hanging in the skimway. Lights are dim, just enough so the house looks occupied. Not to me. I can't be fooled. Done this too many times. This house is empty. People skimmed off to church or a family din-din party. Fa-la-la-la-la, and silent night to you folks, whoever you are. You're about to help a poor Addrict with shaking hands and a big need feed. House all decorated for the holidays. Strings of lights and a big wreath. Real holly. Jolly. Almost as rare as real wool. Costs a wad for that stuff nowadays. Rich folks deserve to treat themselves right. All that cookie. Presents. Maybe jewellery, silverware, mini video, photon units, all kinds of goodies. Now I'm going to redistribute the wealthy a bit. Modern Robin Hood, taking from the rich and giving to the poor mangleheads. Me. I'm the poor manglehead with shaking hands. Gotta have it soon. Little window at ground level back here on side. Lightweight glom locks on these things. Easy to gongle it open and crawl inside. No sign of a Zeeper alarm. OK now, just push a little harder, a little. OK. Snapped, zapped. Window yielding easy. Easy, baby, easy. Inside. Nice house. Real richery. Good furniture. Big 3D video. Just skim around a little. Just check out the drawers, the closets, other likely hidey places for cashry or jewellery or silver. Then hit the presents. Stacks of them around a big tree, a real one, all decorated with silver icicles and angels. My mother used to put angels on our tree, but I haven't seen her in years. Cheers. Not since she found out who had been robbing her, and why. And, empathy. Forget. Oh, what's that? A noise. Probably just a cat rat, or I'm getting spooky. Soon, baby, soon. Sounds like footsteps. Am I imagining things? Withdrawal hallucinations? Oh, God, it's an old lady. A frail, wrinkled little old lady with thin white hair and a quarter-unit walker and a frilly nightgown. Maybe the last one in the world. Reminds me of my... Why aren't you at church, you old witch bitch? Why aren't you at the big family dinner? Don't you like parties and eggnoggery, hey, old bitch witch? What are you doing out here in the living room? If you were too sick for church or party or dinner, then aren't you too sick to be wandering around the house by yourself? Especially nowadays when there's so many prowlers about, the mangly gonglers. Go back to your room, old bitch. I'll stay out. I won't bother you. Did you hear a noise? It wasn't me. It wasn't a burglar in a Santa suit with shaking hands. It was only a cat rat. You don't have a cat. Or maybe it was a burglar, but what can you do with your thin white hair and deep wrinkles, your frilly nightgown and your quarter-unit walker? I could snap you in two, old bitch witch. I could gongle you. Go back to your room. Zots, she sees me. Can I calm her down with a ho-ho-ho routine? No. She's starting to scream, Dream. Thin, hysterical, useless screams. Heading for the vidiphone. What to do? The copy, the fence, the dealer feeler. Old bitch, put that phone down. Put it down. See, I've got a knife life. My hands are shaking. Put it down. Stop screaming. You sound like my... Now she's stopped. She's down on the floor. She'll be quiet soon. Should have kept your mouth shut, old bitch. Should have stayed away from that vidiphone. You've had a long life, and a comfy one too. Look at all this plushery furniture, big 3D video, all these unopened packages of colour spang-wrapped merch. We're going to die soon anyway. Why bother to live if you can't even go to church or the big family dinner spinner on Christmas Eve? Stop shaking, Hans. Stop shaking. I'm going to pour myself a drink, think. Expensive? You bet. Scotch. Plenty dearie in this year 2040, like real wool, real holly, real... Merry Christmas, old bitch. Can't stay too long, sorry. Quick, find some jewellery. Find some silvery. Find some micro-appliances. Open these packages. Open this merch. Take the good stuff, the stuff I can sell to my fence. A purse. Must be the old lady's purse. Money out of her wallet. ID credit. Can always get bucks for ID credits. Even hers, so old mould. Take her gold cross and chain, too. Got to have it soon. Heavy. Real gold. No synthochem. Zucks. What else have we got? Hey, here's the jewellery box with pearls and gold chains, rings and opal earrings, lots of nice stuff, Puff. Good taste. Fine people here. Fine. Mine. Presents. Wow! Hollow camera? For me? Oh, thank you, Santa. A real wool sweater. They're so expensive now. And this jade bracelet for me? Whee! No, for my fence. Gotta hurry. Gotta... Soon, baby, soon. Hands'll stop shaking soon. Hurry. Dining room. Sniff around. In the sideboard. What? The family silvery is what? Sterling. Good taste. The best. Just toss it all into my Santa bag. Adjust my Santa beard. Hey, this could be lots of fun. Well, could have been, if old bitch hadn't gotten in my way, if my hands weren't shaking so, if I didn't need it so much. Well, out the window. Bye, folks, jokes. Thanks for everything, and Merry Christmas. Just walk down the streetery in my Santa coat and my Santa beard, with my Santa sack bulging with gifts for my fence. Oh, yeah, but for me, too. Here's my skimmer, oldry but goodry. On to the metro, and away we go. Ho! A big fat haul, undetected, and I'm feeling good now. Pow! Gonna unload all this rich stuff. Gonna collect my wad from my fence. Gonna rush right over to my dealer for some Christmas cheer. Here? Gonna feel fine. Soon, baby, soon. Kinda run down neighbourhood. Fence doesn't live in such a poshery house as the poor old bitch. Got to be more careful around here. A lot of tough types hypes. Keep my fingers on my knifery. Feel so cool and reassuring in my sweaty fingers. So, what is it? Oh God, it's a setup. An unmarked cop skimmer, staking out my fence's old shack. His living low doesn't fool them. Waiting for a bit of business to show up. They found me. They're after me! Gotta run, fun! Gotta hide! No, baby, stay cool, cruel. Just skim along at legal speed, skim around the block. No one will suspect ho-ho old Santa heading home to delight his family. 'Kay, go, go, go. So, stay cool. Don't shake so hard. They following? Not a sign. Didn't even see me. Didn't even notice. Calm down now. No shakery. What to do? Unload the stuff on my dealer feeler. Sometimes you'll take merch instead of cash. This is costly stuffery, hollow camera, silvery jade bracelet, microcomputer, pearls, gold chain and cross from old... I won't mention that part, Art. Dealy will give me a mangly price, always does. But gotta unload this stuff. Gotta get it soon. Used to be legal long ago, so... Yeah, used to be able to buy it openly. Still more or less legal in some countries, I heard. Not here. Not anymore, saw. Cracking down heavy. Growing, selling, using. Stiff sentences now. Pow. They say it's bad, but it's worse if you can't get it. Heavy robo-sensor border patrols confiscating huge amounts from attempted smuggles. Shouldn't snag the poor smugglers. Should give them a medal. They're doing a public service nervous, supplying poor Addricts like me. Shouldn't put them in jail whale. They take it and probably use it themselves. Drives the prices up and up. Used to be legal long ago. Soon, baby, soon. Almost there. Fence and dealer not very far apart. Here's a house, and there's no cops bops, no cop cars. The lights are on, and I hear music. She's home poem. Hey, Dealy, look at me! It's Santa, bringing lots of good presents for you. Take it all, yours. Merry Christmas. Just let me have a decent stashery of it. My hands are shaking so bad I can't stop, Pop. What, Dealy? My fence? Cop stakeout, so, no, nobody followed. I got such a good haul. Never mind, old bitch, bleeding on the rug bug, not a word of that. Lots of nice Christmas toys I knew you'd love. Jade bracelet, silvery, hollow camera, pearls, microcomputer, real wool sweater. Good stuff, Puff, expensive. Mostly brand new, never used. You can get a wad for it. Could wait, sell it myself, but kind of in a hurry. Hands shaking, you know, feel gongled, you know, you've had the shakes, snakes. Hey, how about a free sample, Dealy? It's Christmas, so how about some Christmas cheer? No, hey? Down to business, hey? Well, look at what I brought you. Just give me a decent stashery and you can have it all. Look, opal earrings, hollow camera, microcomputer, real wool sweater. Okay, cute? Cutery? Hands shaking so bad, sad. Gotta have it soon. One? That's all you'll give me is one? Cutery, look, I brought you so much good stuff, worth at least 5 jive. Camera, computer, sweater, bracelet, silver, gold chain, cross. Look at all this stuff, worth at least 5, maybe 6, 7. Things are tight, Tree, now, huh? Can't let me have more than 2? That's your final offer? Well... Okay, baby, I'm flexible, I understand. Zucks, I need it now. Maybe next time you'll give me some samples, but I'll take 2 now. Pow, soon, hands'll stop. You know it used to be legal, long ago. Sure, when I was younger you could buy it in any supermarket. What's taking you so long? Then they said it wasn't health-free, but I never could strike the habit-tree, so guess I'm cooked. Here, my 2 jars of instant coffee. got a cup, Pop? That was Addrict, written by Avram Davidson and Grania Davis. Narrated by David Pickering.
What'd you think?
It was good. It was good.
Yeah. My thought on it, and I'm curious about yours on this, is it feels much more influenced by Mom than by Avram. What do you think?
Yes, Grania was very active about, marijuana legalization mostly, but I guess drug legalization in general. And Avram didn't really care much about that. It really wasn't. He didn't. He mostly was into alcohol and prescription stuff sometimes. So he really didn't care much about the issue of drug legal. He never talked about it. Grania talked about it a lot.
But in terms of stylistically, I mean, a lot of Mom's stories, I'm trying to think of one in general, but they seem a lot more sing-songy. And this felt much more just even the style of writing to me. Avram could obviously switch any style he wanted, but this felt a little more like Mom's style.
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Because in collaborations, it's really hard because it's not like when they come together, like somebody dies and it's not finished and they write the ending. They come together from the very beginning to decide. One of them will say, oh, hey, I have this idea for a story. Should we? And then they banter back and forth and probably argue and eventually come out with a story at the end of it.
Right.
Or a book, maybe.
The ending was, in my mind, was really funny.
Yeah. In a dark humor way.
In a dark humor way, but it's also a time period piece because now with Starbucks and all these different other sources of coffee, I wonder if it still works, if that humor, because instant coffee now.
I don't see how it's at all different. The joke is that the drug that's illegal now is coffee. Obviously, that was a fantastic concept then, as it is now. Right. But I think people are more hooked on coffee than ever. Coffee is saturated, cool society, yuppie society, every level of society, which kind of was true before. But I think now it's become so fashionable. I think that the ending works just as well or better.
Well, I guess, you know what, you're right. I guess I didn't think of it that way. I thought of it as just like instant coffee is illegal and not all coffee. But if we're talking all coffee, oh my gosh, the country, I mean, it's even bigger now. The country would be in an uproar. It would be like prohibition.
Right. Oh, even worse, I think, maybe. People would definitely be finding a way to get their ground roast.
Who in our family is a story about?
Okay, so my stepfather, your father, was a coffee addict. If such a thing exists, and I think it does, he was definitely one. So he needed coffee even to go to sleep. So there was a story, he told that story. They were on the road somewhere, as they often were, and they were in a hotel, and it was late at night. Most places were closed except bars, but the hotel had a bar. And he realized he couldn't go to sleep without a cup of coffee. That's how addicted to coffee he was, that it was having what they call paradoxical effects some of the time. So he went to the bar and said, hey, because bars usually keep coffee around. He said, hey, can I buy a cup of coffee? And he's like, well, that's not what usually, but we don't usually in the coffee vending business, but sure, we'll get you a cup of coffee. So he drank it and went back to bed and fell asleep.
Well, I remember, I want to say like 8 to 12 cups of coffee a day.
Ooh, I never bothered to keep track.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, I remember talking to it was 8 to 12 cups of coffee a day. I'd like to think, I mean, I guess, we can maybe end it here in the spirit of, in holiday spirit, kind of that story was maybe dedicated to Stephen.
If they had made coffee illegal, I'm sure he would have done whatever was necessary to get his fix,
Yeah. Well, happy holidays, Ethan.
Well, thanks.
And let's definitely be in touch.
Okie doke.
All right, thanks so much. This was fun.
All right, yeah, it was.